Good morning, MTFR fam. We are one step closer to completing our tank. So in episode 3, we did the floor. You know, we initially started the walls and we started to frame the tank. So right where we left off, we are going to do frame, and the frame for the window. Whew. Not gonna lie guys, this project is rough. It's been extremely hot. My back has been pretty cooperative. Had some work done and just want to finish this. We basically got 2 more days of work to at least get the tank built. The rest of the room we can finish later after we go back to work, but the majority of this work I'd like to have it done. So then we're just doing cosmetic stuff. So yeah, let's get started. I'll let the light adjust. Oh, my hair looks crazy. All right, guys, we are complete. Our shell of our tank is done. What do you think? This will be our new cichlid house. My tiny fish room just got a little bit bigger. Let's make it a fish tank. Okay, as you can see, our tank is mostly sheathed in. Didn't want to bore you guys with the same thing over and over and over again. So, same thing with this one. As we did on the other side, we did the best we possibly could to fit it. We did end up with a relatively large gap right here. And I'll show you guys that here in a second. But let's get this screwed into place and start working on fixing some of the gaps and issues that we have. And what I did on the last one is after I mounted it, I go back and fix the gaps, make it level, flush, and then cut out the window. And we are going to have a significant gap that we're going to have to address, and we will address it. And everything, keep in mind, will be epoxied, so there won't be, notice keyword there is hopefully. Grab a couple more screws. I was not sure if this box of screws was going to be enough. So far, so good. So we'll see. Slap one more down the bottom here for good measure. Okay. Show you where we're at. So, all of the sheathing is now complete, installed. You can see what we'll do is we'll cut out this excess piece right here. So when we inset our window, it's good to go right there. But yeah, it's hot, very hot. Yeah, we're just gonna use a Sawzall, reciprocating saw, I think is what it's called in the real world. Use that. And then right here is what I was talking about, those gaps. Huge gap. So what we'll be doing is we'll put a backing of wood right here. We'll fill the gap with silicone caulking, and same thing on the bottom, because I suck at cutting wood. All right, that's enough of my mistakes. Oh, also, we did make other mistakes. You want to see my other mistakes? Of course you want to see my other mistakes. Right there. That wasn't there before. Forgot where the plywood was going to meet up. If there's nothing here, it's just floating. It's a lot of weight to be floating in a corner. So everywhere, and I mean every single corner, I messed that up. So I had to go back on the floor, on the wall, on that wall, on that wall, on all the walls, and add some supports in there. So needless to say, we did go to the hardware store again. We did not film it again because I suck at filming too. But with all that being said, let's get back to work. Okay, normally I'd cut from the other side, but I can't see to save my life, so I'm gonna have to cut from this side. Not the best idea, but it is what it is. Smooth it out with the router or something. I thought about leaving it like round, then I was like, nah, not my thing. All right, now we have a boomerang. Just kidding. I'm not Australian, it wouldn't come back. Shoo! Right, so now, obviously, we cut that a hair large. And we're gonna come back and hit it with probably the sander, to be honest with you, because it just works a little bit better. I need a new routing bit. And yeah, so probably the sander. Sand away. All right. All right, I got a doctor's appointment here in a little bit, so I gotta go take a shower and not smell like a rabid dog. So we will continue in just a little bit. All right, we do have some gap issues. I'll show you right now. You see right here, there's a gap. We gotta fill those in. And I think the best option to get those filled in is gonna be wood filler. So let's head over to the hardware store, get some wood filler. And I also forgot to get some gloves. So we'll get some gloves for doing the epoxy. We're going to fiberglass every single joint. We're going to fix our gaps with some wood filler first. We'll sand off any spots where we put in screws and it's got some little burrs sticking out. Burry. And let's make us a tank. I know this process has probably been longer than any of you wanted. Definitely longer than I wanted. But we're getting there. We're gonna do this in episode whatever we're on. We're making a tank. All right, so we're gonna head over to the Home Depot. Get some wood fillers, some gloves, probably some more wasp spray because there's a lot of wasps. I hate wasps. Little bastards. But yeah, we are getting close. Next steps will be, pretty much final steps in getting the tank ready. We'll get the glass prepped and installed, and then probably need to do some testing. Like, does it hold water? Will it fall apart? I don't know. We're gonna fill it up and find out though, so stay tuned. And this is gonna be episode 4, by the way. I know I screwed that up earlier. But I looked on my computer. So yeah, 4 episodes. Essentially, we were able to build almost 1,000-gallon tank. So if anybody at home is thinking about taking on a project like this, it's really not that bad. A lot cheaper than trying to pay some company to build you a tank. So the DIY realm, it was an awesome experience. I hope it works. So stay tuned to find out. Okay, I don't know, nothing. Henry 345 premix 4-patch. Hopefully this will work. I want to get a small putty knife too. Let's go find one of those. So that's what we're gonna need next. And gloves. I saw some gloves the other day when I was in here. There's cleaning stuff. Let's go see if there's gloves around the corner. Okay, so we found some knives and some gloves. So I don't remember what was on the list. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let's check the list. Okay, so we got some wasp spray. Oh, that's magnetic. Just lost the microphone. Got it. Oh yeah, found these too. Neat little pack of gloves. And then we also got some wood filler so we can bang out our cracks. No idea what I'm doing. So, let's go see how it goes. Holy shit, it's bright outside. Oh yeah, loaf and jug sunglasses are the best. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go find some food first. Ooh. Okay, so we have our putty and our putty knife. Let's start filling in some of these larger gaps that we have working on our tank. Now this is a pre-mixed floor patch, basically a wood filler. So what we're going to do, certain areas have less than ideal gaps. And this is going to help us seal up those gaps. And of course, we're going to be covering this with epoxy. So this is mostly just to make sure structurally that we have good bonds between all the layers. Let me get you guys a better view. It's kind of like Bondo for wood. So this is what we're doing right there. That'll be kind of hard to see. Hold on. Just lower you guys down in here. You can see all it's doing is filling in little voids and whatnot that we have. And this stuff is sandable, so once it dries and hardens up, you can come back and sand it up. Those corners, it's kind of pain. So just gonna kind of load them up. Keep in mind we're filling the gap to fix it. You want to smear it in there really good. We'll continue this process throughout every crack that we can find and every screw hole, etc. Whatever. Filling all the cracks with mud. Really weird textured mud. It's almost like a goofy sand. Feels like a silica sand. If you've ever worked with that stuff. Like Mod Podge with some sand in it. Is it Mod Podge or is it Hodgepodge? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so. So that's what we're up to for right now. I'm not going to bore you with the whole process. I'll wrap this up and we'll catch up in just a minute. Okay, so as you can see, covered up the screw holes, got every joint covered up, got our gaps right here filled up really good. All the way around, nothing up there. But yeah, so all this is going to do is seal up anywhere we had some space left over. And like I said, this stuff's fully sandable. So we're gonna let this dry overnight. And we'll see you in the morning. Peace out. So right now I'm just applying epoxy so I can start fiberglassing. These joints and corners together. All I'm doing is putting a layer of epoxy down, and then I'll come back and stick the fiberglass to that and continue to layer over the top of it as we work our way down and around the tank. And I'm being lazy. I have a microphone inside. I just don't want to go get it because I didn't get the slowest drying epoxy, which I probably have plenty of time to work with it. You know what I mean? Probably got a couple hours, but I'm lazy and I don't want to go inside. And I don't know where my thing is for my tripod, so my wife's holding the camera right now, so this is how we're doing it right now. What you do is the first layer of epoxy is basically just like a glue layer. Make sure you squish it into the corners. Just kind of thick layer, so that way the sheathing will stick to it. Not gonna lie, I probably could have done a better job of sanding, but nobody's gonna see this corner. So then we're just gonna push our fiberglass down in there, squish it into the corner, give ourselves a nice rounded joint right there. And I know there's tools. I have tools for fiberglass, but I didn't bring them out here, so it is what it is. Now once you get that first layer on there, come in here closer, Lisa, so you can see. You can see how it turns transparent once there's enough epoxy. So what that tells us is we've got quite a bit more epoxy to apply for just even this first layer. And this is to waterproof and reinforce the sheathing, make it 10 times stronger. And I'm going to have to run and mix some more epoxy, it looks like. I definitely did not mix enough.
What? I like animals, okay?
I know you do.
A worm. Perfect animal.
I
Sheep.
wouldn't call it a perfect animal,
But Daddy, if I find another worm, I'll feed it to Earl, okay?
no, don't feed it to Earl. I don't want Earl to catch a disease from some random worm.
What about Kronos?
Kronos is fine.
Okay. Don't mess with Wormy, okay? I'm gonna sit him right there for a second. Let me go find another worm.
Alright, so we almost got the first layer. How's this first corner done? And I overlap just a hair at the bottom so that way my cross joint for my next layer that goes across the bottom of the tank
I found another worm.
will be
It's cooler.
overlapped. Christian, I'm filming, bro. You can come in here, but just don't be all loud about wormy.
Okay.
Our soil must be good for worms.
And so that you can see how it's almost fully transparent will now become our first waterproofing layer, and it'll help keep all of this from falling apart because I built it. That should be fine. Now gotta move on to the next one. And the next one, and the next one. That one I cut. It's the hair shorter than I would have liked. Oh my god. My son's over there playing with baby worms, and my wife's filming my crotch. This is how my day is going.
Hey, don't blame me.
I'll be very surprised if the balloon festival does not get canceled based on just what I'm hearing. We're supposed to go to the balloon festival tonight. We thought it'd be fun to go vlog a video, something unique that happens in Colorado and Mexico, a few places around the country, but if you can't hear it, it is thundering like crazy outside. So, it's very likely that they will cancel the event.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm a little bit more, I don't think they will.
All right, we're at the balloon glow. Got Lacey, Crashton down there. Apparently he needs a break. But we are going to go check out the balloon glow. It's a festival of hot air balloons that happens every year in Colorado, so should be fun. Let's go check it out if we don't get completely rained out. So these silicone cups have measuring marks on them. So I'm just doing 20 mil of A, 20 mil of B. It's a 1-to-1 mix on the epoxy. And you can use other liquid polymers for this kind of application for waterproofing, but for me, this one was a cheap overnight delivery option available by Amazon. So, for the sake of saving time and the price, obviously, I like cheap. I got this one for, I don't even know how much. But now that I think about it, I did screw up a little bit because I totally intended on coloring these corners because I wanted to get an idea of what the color is going to be. Can you grab me the blue? Open it. Alright, so we're going to add a drop of blue so we can get an idea how we want to mix the polymer to make the tank walls. So it's a very light, translucent blue almost. That's one drop. So let's go ahead and add 3 more. Oh, or a whole bunch because it did not come out in drops. Oh yeah. I think that's a semi-translucent blue. We might have to add a little bit of black in there to darken it up. Let's make this next corner blue. We have an idea of how blue it will be up against the wood, which actually I think we're gonna add a little more. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go 4 more drops. You want to make sure this stuff mixes in really well, or you will end up with the marble effect. Be like translucent and blue. I really like that blue color. And what we might have to do, we might have to put down a layer of latex paint first in a light blue. Then we'll add this color blue, and then it'll be blue. Okay, so let's get this painted on there. I'm just going about a little bigger than the width of the brush, all the way down the seam, getting in the seam real good, make sure that's got plenty in there. Like I said, this first layer is just to glue the fiberglass onto the wood. Then each subsequent layer after the fact will be rolled on, and these corners will be hit again. So we'll brush it on right now in the corners to get our fiberglass set. Then we'll come back through with a roller, and we'll roll the rest of the epoxy on to waterproof the rest of the wood. Or if we need to for color purposes, we'll go ahead and add the latex paint before we add the next layers of epoxy. And that's all going to depend on how this blue turns out, which I could tell you already, it's
Not dark enough.
too transparent. So I think we're going to have to put a base layer. And we could do probably a light blue, and then we'll have a transparent blue over the top, which I think will give us a nice aquarium, aquatic, whatever, landscape, aquascape, who cares? My fish are gonna love this. Probably could have done a better job of sanding right down there, not gonna lie. So next, I don't know if you ever worked with fiberglass before. It's a really weird mesh cloth, so I like to take it, put my foot on it, and pull it tight, because otherwise it'll be all zigzaggy. And that just stretches it nice and clean for me. Now I'm going to set the top just very lightly. Come down here and set the bottom. Same thing, nice and lightly. And it is going to move on you. Don't worry so much about that. When you're brushing it in, you can get it a lot better. You can even see here where it stretched itself a little bit. And now we'll just go back through. Same thing we've been doing. And applying more over the top. Soaking it in. And trying to get the fiberglass to become as transparent as we can. Which means we've got a good bond, or at least enough epoxy that it will bond. And do yourself a favor, smooth that shit out as much as you can. Sanding sucks. You want to be in here sanding all the time. Getting everything smoothed out. And on the other side of that, if you don't give a shit cosmetically, who cares if it has a few bumps? You know what I mean? How often am I going to be looking at the inside of this aquarium going, damn, there's a bump right there. Should have sanded that. I guarantee you never. Oh no, I'm spilling. Got some spillage. Little stir stick. I'm not going to add any more color. We can clearly see that that test failed. So we'll salvage the rest of our color for after we put down the tank's primer, which will be an exact replica of how I did the floor. It'll start off with a primer. We'll get the primer on there, choose a light color that you'll be able to see. That base color ultimately will become part of the tank background. So we're going to do light blue with a transparent blue over the top for waterproofing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
And we got to run one more seam, at least one more seam after this one, because I need this done, because we are dipping out for the rest of the weekend. It is what weekend is it?
Labor Day.
Weekend? It's Labor Day weekend, so we're going to hit the lakes with some friends of ours up in the mountains. So I want to get this done so it can dry and cure while we're gone. And then when we come back, we put the final few layers of epoxy on the entirety of the inside of the tank, and boom, we got a fish tank. Crazy. Now, for the record, everybody in my direct family and or neighbors all think I'm crazy for doing this in my backyard. Maybe for doing it, period. I don't know. Why is this thing anybody ever said to me on Facebook? When I first started, some guy, I don't know if he was trolling me or not, but he said, build whatever the hell you want. And if people watch, great. If people don't watch, well, then you still ended up with what you wanted. So, this is what I want. This is what I'm building. And it's just that simple. I like building stuff, so. Shoo! All right, guys. That's a wrap for episode 4. We've got all of our seams done. We're going to let those dry. Then we're going to add a layer of latex paint. That'll be our color for the tank. And we'll do the epoxy for waterproofing the rest of the wood. So thanks for watching. Look out for episode 5. See you on the next one. Peace out. As always, thanks for watching, guys. YouTube thinks you might like this video right here. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.